I knew I was going to love Dan to Dan from the very first scene. After Momo gets broken up with for not putting out and not taking it too well, she gets kicked in the gut, falling straight to the ground. I thought, oh damn, what a quick laugh. The scene was stylish with blunt dialogue, comedic, designed for you to laugh at, not to be repulsed by. That's when I knew this anime is going to be good. Meaning, it's going to be daring and bold, not scared to be offensive, which isn't foreign for anime to be, but still in today's creative climate, is really refreshing to see. The art style reminds me of Fooly Cooly or Kill la Kill, in how the characters' movements are exaggerated, almost taking on a personality of its own. Scene for scene, this anime is full of energy, a roller coaster of a ride. With the absurd dialogue, there's never a dull moment. A horny ghost granny who steals Ken's manhood, a scene where Momo almost has her innocence taken, which I knew was going to cause a stir amongst those who increasingly can't distinguish between reality and fiction, but I appreciate it because it's not scared to go there and be edgy. And last but not least, a cool hot granny who could be waifu of the year. Action packed with plenty of highs, but overall, at the core of it, this show has heart. Even though there's a slight resentment between Hot Granny and Momo for when Momo rejected her granny's belief in ghosts, not accepting certain traditions for the sake of being laughed at by her classmates, this leads to bitter back and forth between the two. But it's shown that regardless, Hot Granny loves her granddaughter and wants nothing but for her to be safe. And yes, Granny Ghost is a pervert that wants to gobble up Ken's manhood, but it's learned that she actually consoled the souls of girls who suffered these horrible, horrendous deaths before fully passing on into the afterlife, adopting the role of the elderly who care for the next generation. It's obvious that at its core, this show does have soul. While at times you'll laugh out loud from the outlandish bold humor it offers, it always grounds itself in these moments that really pull at your emotional strings that are genuine to these characters. But there's one episode, or part of an episode I should say, that really stood out to me. When trying to save Ira after battling this ghost that insisted Ira was her long lost daughter, the ghost makes a case that she can save Ira by transferring her aura to her, a procedure that Momo herself is capable of doing. But still, Momo is doubtful and vigilant, assuming it's just another tactic to consume Ira for herself, with me as the viewer sharing Momo's concern. But the ghost immediately, without hesitation, breaks her own jaw, stating now she can't consume her even if she wanted to. And I thought, wow, she did that unprompted, showing she's sincere to disprove Momo's disbelief, and finally, Momo agrees to it. Now, while this procedure happens, we get the backstory of this mother and the daughter she confuses Ira to be. Beautiful piano music plays over scenes of the mother and daughter's relationship, which is shown to be nothing less than a loving one. The daughter every day is excited to see her mom, hugging her as soon as she comes home from work. We learn that the mother works tirelessly to provide for her daughter at more than one job. They both share interest for ballet, which she teaches her daughter to do every day more and more. She even buys her a ballet dress she's been saving up for, the same dress we see her in as a ghost. They happily eat their meals together and enjoy doing the simplest of tasks together. These two are truly inseparable. Until one day, that's all taken away from them. We see the mother being attacked and beaten by a man for reasons we just don't know, and it's up to us to assume why. The daughter cries in the background as all of this plays out. The mother is thrown across the room, severely cut from glass, bleeding out quickly, and then finally gets knocked out, while the daughter is taken away by this man and another. As I alluded to earlier, the writer of this story, Tatsu, is very good at writing from a range of emotion that makes you as the viewer never feel at ease of where this story is capable of going. So when I learned that Tatsu and Fujimoto once worked together, I thought that's no coincidence because Fujimoto is a master at this. This whole scene was uncomfortable to watch, but made me more invested in this mother, seeing where her obsession and confusion for Ira came from, and so I understood. Later, the mother wakes up in a panic, rushing outside to chase these thugs down, but fails to do so, collapsing shortly after. While stuck in a daze or high maybe, from shock I assume, she shares what could be considered a last dance. And then, after falling, it's implied through a loud thump, she comes to her death. We now join this mother in what I think is her purgatory, maybe, being united with a young Ira. We quickly learn that sadly, Ira at a young age has lost her mother, both of them suffering tragic loss. Now from here, I'm slightly confused on how to interpret this, because the mother stares at younger Ira, claiming she is her daughter, but I assume this is still her delusion at work, and Ira wakes up. Momo begins to cry, having witnessed both of these tragic stories, probably playing out like a movie in her head, overwhelmed with the emotional impact this has. The mother begins to decay away, and despite Momo pleading to Turbo Granny for a way to stop this, Turbo Granny insists this is the outcome of transferring her aura away and nothing can be helped, and that the mother will die with regrets, unable to rest in peace, and will be forever forgotten, her memories and all, like she's never existed. We see Aura taking this all in, Granny's words, and she rushes to the mother. She hugs her tight, reminding her just as her daughter did in the past. Both of them crying, Aura calls her mommy, stating she loves her and that she was the happiest person in the universe, giving the mother the moment of closure she was desperately seeking all along. And Aura promises she'll never forget, she swears, before fully decaying away and the screen goes black. Jesus Christ. Stop being so good at what you do, Tatsu. Every episode hits hard, but this one especially. How I interpret this is that Aura and the mother are fulfilling each other's past, embracing each other as mother and daughter, even though they're neither to one another, but giving each other solace, fulfilling the role of the one they tragically lost, learning of each other's past when briefly being linked together. This was so sad to witness, but heartwarming at the same time, which I believe takes a uniquely talented writer to pull off and have it come off so authentically as it did. This is why I love Dan to Dan. As I mentioned before, this show is filled with such bold humor many creators would shy away from because of fear, but this show at its core is full of so much soul it can't be ignored, and this episode delivers it flawlessly. And I love it. I said before, this is definitely anime of the season, but I might make it anime of the year, which I'm sure many would agree because I cannot get enough of it, and I'm always anticipating the next episode. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, link in the description below. If you like the Samurai Champloo lo-fi mellow boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next video. Free think. Peace.